Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 197 for Tuesday, the 13th of February 2024. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamertag Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby 360G, and joining me today is
Nick Fights
and Sensei Switch.
And you know what, guys? Today is our 16-year anniversary of the podcast.
Bloody hell.
16 years. Do we all feel old now?
I've felt old for a while, to be honest.
You're old. How old are you now, Webby?
29.
That's funny, because I thought you were slightly older than that.
No.
Oh.
No.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure you had a 40th birthday this week.
No,
No, you didn't.
definitely not. I'm not that old yet.
Oh,
I'm forever.
okay.
I'm forever 30.
Forever young.
You just said you were 29. Does this work?
Yeah. Wouldn't make sense, would it? If I'm 29, I've been doing a podcast for 16 years. Of course, I started that young.
Wow, they all start younger these days, don't they?
Oh, I know. Don't I know it? Anyway, so yeah, it's mad. We've podcasts changed its name multiple times. However, like this time, it came back. I think in like 2019, and I haven't ended it in that interim at all. So I think it's a new record. So you should all be very proud of me. So if I go on to the Facebook group, because I put a post on there and it's still pinned. Yeah, the 14th of October 2019, I put a post on there saying it's coming back, and I think it came back like the next week, like the week after that or something. So around October 2019 since we've been back. So 4.5 years or so.
You've only talked about like knocking it all on your head like once a month ever since.
I know. Well, I have to admit, if it, if I didn't have any patrons or hadn't started the Patreon, then I would have not knocked it on the head. They're literally the only reason it's still going, to be fair.
And the fact you enjoy it.
On to them.
Yeah, I do enjoy it. I mean, sometimes I need to have a break for a week or two, but that's quite rare, to be fair. But, it's all good. So, cool. Right, anyway, let's get into it because it's been a good week this week for video games. For me, anyway. So I'm actually going to do something different and start off instead of letting you guys start, because this game deserves to be sort of talked about first. And I have to say, my PlayStation, I don't think it's ever been used so much. My PS5, it's been on all week since a little game came out. That little game is called Helldivers 2. I am absolutely loving it. Now, the interesting thing about this is, right, it came out on PS5 and PC on the same day, and I actually bought it on PlayStation. Now, the game is also cross-play. However, I find this thing with the PlayStation, right? So, like with Xbox and PC cross-play, you can obviously you do your party chats. It's easy. But on all three on both consoles and the PC, you can all jump in Discord chat together as well, which makes cross-play easier. However, I find with PlayStation users, they don't really like to use Discord. And I think it's just because it's a little bit more of a faff to get it going on your PlayStation. So I decided to get it on the PS5 for that one reason, because obviously we've got quite a big community of PlayStation users. Obviously, there's a few people in Discord who've picked up on PC as well. However, I just thought, because of the way the game is, I thought it would be easier just to get it on the PS5 so I could just play with the majority. Now, this game's awesome because it. And I was talking to the guys yesterday, and it feels like gaming on the Xbox 360 again when I'm playing this, because it's so easy. You can just drop into people's games. Literally, I'll load up my PS5, I'll look at, say, D-Twin, who's been playing it a lot, and I'll just click on the join button, and I'm straight in his game. Even if he's mid-mission, I'll just drop in, and away we go. We're shooting alien scum, bugs, or the robots, and it's just fun. You know what I mean? Since the game came out this week, the game is 4-player co-op, and every time I've gone on it, there's been four of us in a PlayStation party chat playing it. And we had the annoying thing. Well, it's not annoying, but something I've not seen for ages. Last night, there was 4 of us playing, and then there was another 2 people that wanted to join us, but obviously they couldn't because the game was full. I haven't actually played. Yeah, as I'm saying, I haven't actually played a game on anything in years where we've filled our squad, and there's still people saying, "Oh, Webby, can I join?" And I'm like, "Sorry, mate, the game's full." You know what I mean? That hasn't happened for years. And it's just a testament to it. I've got a lot of friends on PlayStation playing it, which is fantastic. There's quite a few people on Steam who've picked it up as well. I think I've seen about 5 or 6 people I know who've picked it up on Steam. And so the crossplay works. Basically, you have a friend code, and then they're on your Helldivers friends list. Now, what makes this quite interesting is that this is a Sony Studios published game, and it's launched on PC the same date as it's launched on PlayStation.
It's not a first-party game, is it?
No, but it's published by
an
Sony.
indie studio.
Yeah,
that's the difference. I don't think they've ever really been a thing, because I think the original Helldivers was on PC as well.
Yeah, so and by the looks of things, it's sold really well on PC as well, which is fantastic, because I think it's putting a positive note to Sony that put your games on PC launch date, and they'll sell well. So that's really good. So I think
hardware sales.
Yeah. So I think it came out on Thursday or Friday. I can't remember which day it was now. It's all like a blur to me now.
Thursday, I think, was the official release. That was when I saw a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah, so I was actually on the fence about getting it. I was thinking, do I get it? Do I not? And then I saw a few people saying, "Oh, it's really fun." And I watched a few videos on YouTube, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's not a full price game. Might as well get it. And then it was and on what system to get it on, and then obviously I got it on PlayStation. Top tip from me: if you're going to get a game on PlayStation, buy the PlayStation gift cards off shop2.net, because they're cheaper than obviously just buying them outright. So that's quite good. The game has sold 1 million units already, and yesterday it had over 220,000 people playing it at the same time, which is why the servers have been a little bit up and down, because they weren't expecting it to sell so well. Because it is a relatively simple game, if compared to a lot of games out there. It's literally there's planets, and there's planets in the solar system that you can drop on, and it's basically a similar gameplay loop every time you go on. You drop on the planet, and the world is randomly generated, and then you've got missions to do, like save some hostages, or destroy bug eggs, or retrieve some information and send it up via satellite link or something like that. And it's basically, you get on the planet, you do those missions, and there's like side missions to do as well. There's some are hidden on the map. and you go around and do all this stuff, and then you got to get to an extraction point, call for extraction, hold out for 2 minutes, and then get out. And that is pretty much the gameplay loop. And it sounds simple, and it is simple, but it's just so much fun because there's quite a lot of I'm trying to get my words out. Quite a lot of variety in the equipment that you can bring in, the unlocks you get as you play the game. So every time you complete a mission, you get medals, and use those medals to unlock more weapons, more armor, more upgrades. So, as an example, you upgrade your ship, and then as you upgrade, you can get different upgrades for your ship. So basically, you can cool down like napalm strikes on the enemies and bomb strikes and various other things. Turret guns, mines, and there's all different variations of these things, but you unlock them slowly. There's got that kind of progression system. So when there's 4 of you in, you all kind of take different things in, and then it just kind of makes when we're playing, like, don't go near there. I've just called in a napalm strike, or there I've laid down a minefield there, and it's just so intense because you just get overwhelmed by these enemies at times, and it's like using your tactics, and the explosions are just like boom, and the whole screen shaking. It's just fucking nuts. It's just a lot of fun. It really, really is. The graphics are stunning, and it's just very immersive, and it's just very tongue in cheek. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. It kind of reminds me a little bit of that Starship Troopers game that came out on PC. I didn't pick it up, but it's very similar to that effect, where there's just loads of bugs on the bug planets, and they're just coming at you loads, and you got to kill their nests and stuff like that to stop them coming out. It's just a lot of fun, and I think part of what makes it really fun is playing it in co-op, and the fact it's made so easy to do the co-op. The drop in and out gameplay is just really, really cool. It's just a lot of fun. So yeah, I think we're going to be playing that for a little while to come. It does have a battle pass. There's 2 battle passes, like every game these days. There's a free one, and there's a lot of stuff in that. A lot of stuff. So you don't even need to buy the premium. I actually upgraded to the premium edition of Helldivers that got the premium battle pass anyway, because I was just enjoying the game so much. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to do the upgrade and go all in on this. And I haven't regretted it at all. So, if people are on the fence with it, check it out. It's 35 quid, which, isn't a lot really. I think there's been sales on the physical already for like 28 or something, which is pretty good. If you get it on PC, it's £25 on CD keys, which is good. And I haven't tried the crossplay yet, but obviously I know it works, and I think they had some issues on launch day, but it's working now. But it's simple, but we haven't got bored of it, and we've played it a lot already. Myself, D, Twin, Tag, and a few other people from the Discord. It's just been really, really cool. And I think from my point of view, it's just been quite nice actually having a reason to use my PS5, because I haven't really been using it much. Obviously, I'll get into another game in a bit that I'm sure Darren and maybe Nick have played as well on the PS5 this past week. But it's just quite nice because I don't really use my PS5 much, and it's just actually been quite nice to play it. So yeah, I really recommend Helldivers 2. It's kind of, for me, it's come out of nowhere, and it's really, really nice, I think, when you've been looking forward to big games, that a nice surprise just drops, and you're like, oh yeah, I wasn't expecting that. That's really fun, So yeah, I really do recommend it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I almost felt tempted to pick it up at some point, but then it was sort of like, oh, is it just being in the moment? And a lot of it reminded me of EDF,
Oh yeah, yeah,
like that kind of sort of third person, just over the top, just
yeah,
gung ho, go for it kind of aspect.
yeah. Yeah, it's got some. It's definitely gives you vibes of a mishmash of different games because when you drop on a planet, you drop in this big pod out of the spaceship, and it feels very Halo ODST as you're dropping down to the planet. And then when you're on the planet, I get some Destiny vibes just because the background just looks gorgeous. You know, like the planets in the background and the big rings around the planets and the moons and spaceships and stuff like that. It just looks very Destiny in that aspect. But I'm really enjoying it, and I think if you've got people to play it with, it's great. I mean, I don't think I'd want to play it on my own, to be honest, because it does get quite difficult because the bugs and the enemies hit very hard, so you find yourself dying a lot anyway. And then
Well, technically, you're not necessarily up against. Well, you are kind of up against AI, but there's actually people sitting on the servers that can make the game more annoying for people.
Oh right, I didn't know this.
So there's like there's so that like they can tweak things. So if they think you're having a good time, they can cause you to have like a load of shit go down, or if you're having a struggle, they can cause like other things like to get a bit easier, or you might have something drop for you to help out.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, it's
Kind of is, but I hope that's not a future of games thing, because I think difficulties should actually be a thing and not be like made up by some random person who just decides to fuck you over.
Yeah. Now, what's quite interesting about the game is, and this is something I'm quite intrigued to see, is basically when you look at the map, there's planets, kind of like colours, and then it gives a percentage on how much that planet's been defeated. And then once it's 100% done, then you can't go back to that planet, and then you kind of move on to the next two or something. So it'd be interesting to see what happens further on down the line if you can go back to those planets at some point, because they're all styled different. So one of the ones that's now been defeated since yesterday was a snowy planet. So that's no longer available. So the other planets are like this foresty one, right? So I'm just wondering, what's going to happen in the future, like as we move along. Is it going to have different planets with similar kind of terrain, or how it's going to happen? It's just quite interesting to see. So, but it's quite funny when you do a mission. It gives you, how much of a percent you've contributed, and it's always like 0.00002% or something. Thinking, bloody hell, I've done fuck all here, So, but yeah, it's cool. It's really, really cool. So it's a shame, obviously, it's not on Xbox, because I think if you don't have a PC or PlayStation, you are really missing out, because it's a lot of fun. But on the flip side, I'm glad that it's at least on two systems anyway, because it's going to keep the game quite healthy, I think. So yeah, that's all I really want to say on it. It's just I just wanted to give it a shout out because it's a really good game. So yeah, Helldivers 2, people, check it out. Boom. Nick, how are you?
Yeah, I'm alright. I haven't played much this week because I've been sick, but I played some. But I've won probably played. I don't know if Darren's played as well. The Final Fantasy Rebirth demo.
Oh yes.
Yes, we've all played that.
But I haven't finished it. Have you finished it?
Of course.
I haven't. No.
I did it all in one go.
How long is it?
About an hour 40-ish.
No, I think I played it for about 45, so I suppose I'm halfway. But then I wasn't sure if I actually wanted to be playing it, So I was like, oh, I should just wait a couple of weeks for it to come out. And then I watched the recap thingy from the main menu.
Yeah.
And then I fired up the game, and I was like, oh, this is good. And then they started playing the music, like the newer, the updated version of the music. I'm like,
the remix
oh.
and time and stuff.
Yeah, so I just sat there listening to that for about 2 minutes straight before I did anything. I was like, oh, I like this. And then I've done the usual, then you go, oh, I better go here and then go here. And I'm like, oh, I'm not really Cloud, I'm Zach. I'm in there, I'm in that guard there, I'm really him. Or maybe we are, we don't know anymore, do we?
Well, I know the true story, but...
Well, you know what I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
We know, but we don't know because they might be changing stuff about.
No, that's definitely the same. Now, so what's quite interesting about this is if you complete this portion of the demo, you don't have to replay it in the main game. You get an option to skip it, which I think is quite good. Because I don't know if I can be asked to do it again. So basically, for those people that don't know, who haven't played the first one, there's a section of the original game, and obviously it's in this where it's a flashback portion, and you play it. And what I thought was quite cool was playing as Sephiroth, which was awesome. But they've changed the flashback section quite heavily, I think, from the original, from what I remember. Because the way you walk up and then you get on the bridge and then the bridge collapses and you go through all these underground things and then you just make it to the reactor, whereas it's like what they did in Remake, because they added loads of extra pieces to make it a bit longer, which I thought was quite interesting. But I also liked when you could go into Tifa's house and play the piano.
Yeah, I was about to say,
apparently I suck, but there's some videos online and Twitter and stuff where people have actually done proper songs and music and stuff, and I'm like, ooh, people are clever. Not like me, I just make a load of noise. I have to ask, Webby, did you look through Tifa's wardrobes and knickers?
Yes.
Yes, I thought you would.
And I was very upset to not get the panties.
I can't remember what she says. Like, she gets pissed off and she's like, "You bastard" or something.
Yeah.
I think both her and Ares get annoyed in this one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because he's recounting the story, isn't he? So
yeah.
But no, I think it's really, really cool. Playing through that whole section. It was just when you have played through the original multiple times and you see it in these graphics, it's just quite surreal, I think, just exploring that village in those graphics. It's just really bizarre, but it's really cool at the same time. I do think they did a really good job with the demo. But I do feel a little bit sorry for people that have never played the original, because they're going to be a little bit confused, aren't they? If you know what I'm saying.
I've played the original. I'm a little bit confused.
Because obviously Cloud's telling the story as it's like it's him, but it isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we're not supposed to know that yet, Webby.
Well, I know that from playing the original. And obviously Crisis Core.
There's hints there when you kind of go back to his house and the memories are all jumbled and weird.
Yeah.
Like, compared to all the other bits, that's played out like a memory rather than him telling the story of what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, and that Shinra guard looks very familiar. Standing around.
Might not be.
So you're
actually say the same words as like from the original as well when you talk to him.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool, but
yeah, because like in some of the game, I think was quite interesting. Like when Cloud does the flashback with his mum, it is literally word for word from the original. which I thought was really, really cool. So they're really playing with us who know it, because obviously you've got a lot of parts of the game which are, as I say, word for word, and then other parts they just change up completely. It's really weird. So, but yeah, I think the combat is still good. It's not too taxing, I don't think. As I say, so that's cool. And in that demo as well, they're going to be adding an update to it. I think on the 22nd or something, where you get to play in the Junon area. So you actually have some open world exploration.
I was going to say it was a fair size, and it was like 48 gig, wasn't it, for the demo?
Yeah.
I think it's a pre-thingy for the demo, because it's plastered all over it. Like, do you want to buy it? Do you want to buy it now? So it's pretty much I think it's the game, if you know what I mean.
I doubt it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the full game. I mean, it's just that will turn into the full game. That bit.
You reckon? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it'll be separate. But no, it's cool, man. I think, as a fan of Final Fantasy, I'm really excited. I think the demo was really fun. Combat was good, as I say. Graphics are stunning.
On graphics mode.
Well, I'd put it on performance mode, mate, because
it looks like arse in performance mode. Like, I'm not joking. The NPCs in the villages and that, like, there's like nothing to the textures on them or anything. It's horrible. I had to switch it to actually yeah. When you switch it, it looks fucking miles better.
Oh,
but obviously you've just got to put up with a choppy frame rate.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
It looked less than 1080p when you're in performance mode.
I mean, I don't think it looked that bad, but I was sit quite far from my telly, so.
True, yeah. I'm literally like 4 foot away.
But as soon as I put
what was standard, I didn't even know there was different modes.
Yeah, as soon as I put the game on, I noticed the frame rate straight away, and that's not me being elitist. It's this because I'm used to my PC so much now. I was just like, I can't do it. Straight onto performance mode. And I thought it was fine. Something else, though, is apparently it's going to come to PC only about 3 months after launch. Did you notice on that state of play it said exclusive until like July or June or something like that?
Well, they said that before, haven't they? Like with stuff, and it still takes longer. I think it's just like a weird clause they have.
Yeah, maybe.
Because that seems like a lot of money to pay out to literally just have something for 3 months.
But what did you guys think? Did you really like it? I know, because obviously I know you guys have played the original as well, so.
Oh, I really enjoyed what I played of it. It's like absolutely fine. It's just a shame that we're kind of still stuck in what I would say is like the fucking Xbox One X PS4 Pro era.
Why is that? Because then it's not on the PS4, is it?
No, but I mean, like back in the day, it was like, why have you getting the PS4 Pro? Oh, well, you can play it in 4K, or you can choose to have better frame rate.
Oh, right.
And now we're on much more fucking powerful hardware, and then it's literally the same shit.
Yeah, I thought that the other day.
Good, or the frame rate can look like good. You make this choice, and I'm like, this is the same fucking choice I had on the Pro, and this is the next gen system. What are you doing? I can understand with Final Fantasy because that game is like looks gorgeous, like the engine and everything they've used. Obviously, that's fine. But for a game I'll talk about later that looks worse than other games they've put out, to have that same shite options is like pretty fucking horrendous.
Okay.
It's just having me sitting here just going, "Where's the Pro? Give me the PS5 Pro now, because I'm sick of this shit. I want both."
Yeah.
And we've got powerful hardware enough to do that. In fact, I've got plenty of games that do that. Why are you still fucking doing this nonsense about frame rate or fucking looks?
You know they still do that on a PS5 Pro, don't you?
It shouldn't
I
do,
think it's
because
just giving
there'd be
people
no
choice.
reason. There'd be no reason to actually upgrade to a Pro unless it does exactly that.
I don't mean. I just thought we'd have had 4K and 60 by now.
It's
Ah.
look, so many people have done it already. In fact, there were games that launched with the systems that had that on it.
Mm.
And then you've got all these people that are like, oh, native 4K. And it's like, it doesn't need to be native 4K. Hell, even 1440p at 60 looks great.
To listen to the rest of this week's awesome episode, you need to subscribe to the Patreon. So head on over to patreon.com/360gamercast. This week's episode is over 2 hours long and full of information and rumours, including Final Fantasy Rebirth demo, Helldivers, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Foamstars, Silent Hill The Short Message, and the rumours surrounding Xbox. We have some updates. Apparently Starfield may not be coming to the PlayStation 5, and there's even more rumours that the Xbox will be releasing 2 new consoles in 2026. To get all this and more, you need to subscribe. So again, head on over to patreon.com/360gamercast. It's only £5 a month. You know you want to do it. So do it now.